Hi, I'm Victor, the main organizer of the Full Stack Flutter conference. On this channel we publish the best talks from the conference every week throughout the year, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. I'm also the founder of ServerPod, so if you want to build your backend in Dart, make sure to check that out too. Maureen Josephine is a software engineer, woman in tech, shoutouts founder, and Google developer expert in Flutter and Dart. She'll talk about mastering swipe gestures in Flutter. Let's dive in.
Hi everyone, welcome to Full Stack Flutter Conference. Maureen Josephine here. I'm a Flutter engineer, a Google developer expert in Flutter and Dart, and today I'm going to talk about mastering swipe gestures in Flutter and how to use this in our day-to-day applications. Some of the examples are Gmail app, if you have interacted with it before, the feature that enables you to delete or swipe to archive emails through your app. And today we are going to explore how this works in Flutter, as well as check out other options. Yeah, let's do it. And in my agenda today, these are some of the things that I'm going to cover. Importance of gestures in app development. We're also considering accessibility and all building intuitive apps. We're also going to check swipe gestures in general and how you could implement them in Flutter, and also building swipeable UI elements. And lastly, real-world examples of apps that are using this swipe functionality. And besides that, demo as we go by. If you have checked out your day-to-day interactions in normal apps, these are some of the gestures that you could have interacted with already. For example, the single tap, double tap, hold and press, drag, swipe up, swipe down, swipe right, swipe left. To interact with the features that you have in your phone, let's say deleting, swiping up to see notification, that's very common, and also swiping left to do something, or just generally double tapping to do something else. Our focus mainly today is focusing on swipe gestures. So we are going to cover all the swipe functionalities that you could have interacted with before. And besides that, we are also going to see an overview of real-life apps that are already using these swipe gestures. And if you've guessed it right, we have some of the dating apps that are already using this feature, which is pretty much common, like Tinder, Hinge, and all that. I'm sure you've already used that to get your match, or you are looking for someone. And we also have the YouTube app. The YouTube app has the functionality that enables you to swipe up to increase the volume or increase the brightness and all that. The Gmail app, like I've said, they swipe to delete or to archive and also to see other more options. Besides, we have the swipe iPhone functionality that enables you to swipe left or right when you are checking out stuff, especially if you are on your browser and you want to exit or check out another page. This is pretty much intuitive. Besides, we also have the swipe to complete, an iPhone feature that you could or you have already interacted with before. And lastly, something that I checked out recently and discovered that in the calculator app, you could swipe left or right to delete the items that you have on your calculator, and this is super handy, especially if you are trying to add some values that are not making sense and you want to delete. You just swipe left or right to go back to remove the last values or to just reduce the numbers that you have there. Well, but what's the importance of gestures? We've seen how the Gmail app enables you to swipe to delete or swipe to archive. But how is this really important? It enables us to have the natural interaction while also making app intuitive, which I completely agree. And also improved accessibility. This enables us to access apps in various ways other than the normal traditional way using text and all that. You could swipe while doing something else and also do something else at the same time. And enhanced user experience. For example, the notification app that shows up and then you could swipe up to see what's going on or swipe down to just close that. Other than that, we have the optimized interface, which I totally agree, and also creating adaptive design and cross-platform consistencies. With this, we also have engagement and retention if you have these functionalities in your apps. So we are going to check how these gestures work with Flutter. But what's really gestures? So gestures represent the semantic actions, for example, the tap, like we've said, the double tap, the drag, the scale, recognized from multiple individual pointer events. And Flutter has a gesture system that has two separate layers. So the first layer is the raw pointer events. So what does this really do? This describes the location and the movement of the pointers, for example, the touch, the mouse across the screen. And the second layer is the gestures itself. So this describes the semantic actions that consist of one or more pointer movements. And because today we are going to explore swipe gestures, these are some of the common swipe gestures that you will interact with here. We have the swipe left or right, which is pretty much common, swipe to delete, which is very much handy, swipe to dismiss, swipe to refresh, image carousel with swipe, as well as swipeable taps, which is pretty much intuitive, and also an advanced animation with gestures. But how do you use this? How do you enable this functionality in your app? So we have the gesture detector widget that enables you to add this tap functionality within your app to listen to gestures from your widgets. So to listen to any gestures from the widget layer, just simply add gesture detector and then or just wrap your widget with gesture detector and then add callback to it. So for example, on tap to do something when you want to use it. So for example, maybe you have a text and you have wrapped it with a gesture detector and you want this text to do something when on tapped. So you'd add that functionality within your app. But well, there are also other times that you might also want to use Inkwell. So what's this exactly? So if you're using widgets that aren't already responding to taps or gestures, but you want the ink splash effect to be shown on your screen, this is where the Inkwell widget comes in. So you could use that and it highlights the splash on your screen. So we are going to check out some of the actions while using these gestures, especially when you're using the gesture detector, which is the horizontal drag. But what's really happening when you're trying to do the horizontal drag? So these are some of the callbacks that you have when you are trying to do the horizontal drag. That means like moving from one point of the screen to the other. You could use the on horizontal drag start to showcase the point where you start to the end. And then on horizontal drag update to update, and on horizontal drag end to showcase that it's the drag has ended. Besides this, we also have the vertical drag. But what does the vertical drag really do? To use it, we have various callbacks that you could also use. So for example, the on vertical drag start to showcase the point at which the drag starts on your screen. And we also have the drag update to update any changes on that, and on vertical drag end to showcase the end of this. And if you want to use this gesture detector to handle swipe directions, so here is how to use it. You could use the on horizontal drag update callback to enable you to update any changes. But if you want to swipe right or left, then you also need to add that if functionality that says that if the details and .delta.dx is greater than 0, then it means that we are trying to swipe right. So if that is true, then the swiping right is going to happen. Else, the swiping left is going to happen. And you could also interchange these according to your functionality, especially if you want either a vertical drag update or a vertical drag update or horizontal, depending on your use case. So this is an example on how to use this gesture detector widget to handle these swipe directions. So for example, in the GIF, we are swiping left to complete or swiping right to archive. So that's the representation there in your list. So you could use this functionality to make users aware about like any changes on the screen, and it comes in handy, and it thereby makes your apps intuitive, which is really fun. Other than that, you could also make use of this Dismissible widget, especially if you want to handle swipe to dismiss. So this Dismissible widget also is built on top of the gesture detector widget. But what it does is that it checks the direction where you want to use it from one point to the other on the screen. So for example, if you're using the Dismissible widget, then you'd use the onDismissed callback and then check the direction. So if the direction is equal to the dismissed direction start to end, then it means that it has swiped from left to right. Else, if the direction of the dismissed direction is end to start, then it has swiped from right to left. So you could always use this according to your liking, and then handle the item dismissal as per your use case. Other than that, we also have the swipeable pages. This comes in handy, especially if you want to showcase different pages and allow users to just swipe left or right without really much struggle. And as I've said, all these are built on top of the gesture detector widget. So for example, using the page view widget, you could use this to enable you to swipe across pages and define it according to your own specification. So for example, in this one, we see that it allows the user to swipe through the pages, which has different colors. I placed the different colors to show you the kind of functionality and visibility in form of like different colors changing and on different tabs. But if you want to implement this in your applications or customize this, you could always do it according to your need. Yeah. And other than this, we also have the liquid swipe animation, which I found to be really, really good. I found this plugin for the liquid swipe. So it really comes in handy, and as I've said, all these are built on top of the gesture, the Flutter gesture detector, and how it checks out the pointer events from the screen from one point to the other. So this liquid swipe plugin, it allows you to add pages and also like position slide icon in case you want that. And you can also specify the full transition value, the icons, the wave type, and the controller. You could also add the controller and enable side reveal. You could make that true or false according to your specification. So if you want to use it, just check out that package on pub.dev and play around with it. So this is how it works. It enables you to just swipe to different pages, especially if you have like an onboarding screen that you want the users to check out something, and you also want it to be intuitive. It really comes in handy, and I really like it. So this is just like a simple app from the package itself, example, but you could always customize it according to your need and add images wherever you want, and also specify the wavelength. I really like this because of how creative it looks. Yeah, and besides this, I also checked out the carousel slider, which has also like very multiple use cases, and it's really interesting. So if you want to use the carousel slider, it allows you to specify the options. So within the carousel options, you could also enable the autoplay, and also specify your aspect ratio, and also specify the enlarge center page. You could say that to true or false, and also add the image sliders. But I checked this out from the package, the GitHub package itself. As you can see the source there, and you could also check out some of this, which is really pretty much interesting, and it allows you to scroll through different images, and also check out how to swipe through different pages, specifying the kind of images you want. And also you could also see that it allows you to keep the page view position at the center while you're also trying to scroll and also add the images, which is pretty much handy, especially if you're building some kind of app that allows the users to do other things as well as scroll through the pages. I really like this. And it also allows you could also add other things other than the image. And we also have the vertical carousel sliding, which is really interesting to see, especially if your app has like lots of images. I feel like it would really be beautiful if you add this functionality. So feel free to go and check out the Flutter carousel slider and adjust it according to your functionalities or needs that you want at that particular moment. And yeah, you could also check the full complicated images if you want to do that. And besides that, about the vertical sliding carousel. So for example, if you go deeper into that carousel slider, what it does, it extends the pan gesture recognizer. So the package owner just extended this from the pan gesture recognizers, and also specified the multiple gestures in there. So for example, he has the on start pan, and the pan down, and the pan up, and pan start, yeah, on start, yeah, to specify the instances on what you want to happen across the screen. So to understand more about this, just simply check out the carousel slider app. Besides, if you want to learn more about swiping features in Flutter, which is pretty much interesting and intuitive in my opinion, go check out some of these resources, especially the Flutter Gestures official docs, the gesture disambiguation. There's like a really cool explanation on YouTube, the widget of the week, on how this actually works. So feel free to check it out. And the Flutter detector, the gesture detector widget, the gesture binding. There was also a talk from Flutter Vikings about someone talking about this. I think it's within one of the links, so feel free to check it out. And liquid swipe animation, as I've said, carousel slider, and understanding the gesture handling sandbox, which is pretty much cool. So this is just an overview of how these sliding gestures work in Flutter. And feel free to go check it out, because that's it for today. And thank you. If you have further questions, feel free to check me out on Twitter at j_akelo, and you can also swipe in. You can also scan the QR code. Thank you.